What is it, dumpster day? It was a bad one, the dumpster day. 25 to the 7.
Hannibal gave us $4,000 for the fireworks.
Yep.
No, I said, I don't see one, there should be one, right? Oh, you're supposed to know what. It's supposed to be up to ready.
I rest my case.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to get a check. Actually, it's just like on this side. Is that far enough back? Do you think?
Want me to scoot down?
Well, there's one chair. She wants to sit by the door, in case she has to. We need to sit there. Let's just sit here just in case. Oh.
Hey, Rob.
There.
So we're gonna try to get this on the ballot.
Is there any Sunday?
I don't have one if there is.
Finish what we're doing on that one line. Cause it's for the weeds in the pond.
Maybe we have an agenda.
Huh?
Is there an agenda? The agenda is
Do I have to sign it?
No, is there an agenda?
Yeah. Right, yeah, right.
Oh, it's in there.
Need it there? I don't think
didn't see it.
so. Oh. Maybe I didn't give it to you. Oh, there it is, okay. Oh, you find it? No, you've got it, here. Here,
Oh,
one
right
for that
there.
one.
Oh,
Thank you.
birthday boy.
Hello.
Oh, you're fine here.
Thank you. Cheryl, here's my bill for it.
Oh, okay.
Give me the, well, here, I'll give it to you when we get to the bill.
Okay.
Right?
I like it. I love it. Nope, you are. You can. Sexy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Thank you.
Oh, you're stealing all of them. It's an hour.
So, we're still gonna have the minutes right on, right? No, scratch that right up there. So, we're not getting to bring that up, right? Oh, that's.
Thank you though.
Yeah.
Take it.
I did it cold
No,
for Mark.
I
because I need to-
I didn't do myself. I bought it for the kids and they should be able to use it. You didn't bring your tickets? Yes, I did. I got my tickets. Good. Now I gotta
when you open it, you share it, right? Yeah.
I got it. Let's do it right now.
I'll do that after.
And I'll fill
Yeah,
out
you
right.
read this, right? No, because I got enough stuff here that I read.
I think so. I think Chris is fine.
Go right through the chair. and grab one. Oh, hi. How was it? See if I put names on some of them.
Jay, you have the window open.
I know, I closed it.
When you do the thing, it always adds file. So how much we gotta send them, much?
The invoices.
Yeah.
Everything else they have.
So if
I'll
we
give you
get
yours and
some,
you can fill in.
Give her.
We had to get some stuff back from Harvey's. We got that stuff back, so.
Did he send everything in that box over?
Yeah, I know. That was what they gave me.
yeah, that should all be done, ready.
Yeah, that's, I just wanted to make
It's easy to, especially when.
Public comment, the new superintendent.
Because it's easy to.
No sense in new superintendent. He's in a blue shirt.
I've had so many tickets left,
Maybe a little money.
and I had some that people turned in.
We'll get you in and out.
No, it's just over here. Enough, you know, at least when people who respond to that.
Okay, so when we start the meetings, we want everybody to put their cell phones off. Okay, so that, yeah, because, just so that don't screw up the camera. You got everybody looking. Including me.
Just put. These people want money.
She's like, "God, you shut my phone off."
Little group of us. Little ones. And I have several. He turns in, I put them, because every meeting they turn right in. If they sell a whole morning. I can put it in the bank. Oh, yeah. It should be laying on your bed and stuff. Right. So, you know, a lot of people
Big man.
Ruby. She's like working next. He's Landman.
You wanna hand me that hammer?
Invoice is right there, right?
Huh?
Invoice sticking right there.
Purchase order? Oh, maybe I should leave that.
Yeah, it is in there.
Oh, because I want to hear that. Okay, I guess, call the meeting to order. One at a time, right? Somewhere around. Well, where are we doing technical? I guess we can call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call the meeting to order at 6:30. I'm going to read the protocol of how the meeting should run. It says, as electric supervisor, the township is responsible for chairing the meeting of the township. The following procedure will be followed. There will be no over-talking of board members or argument between the people. Audience individual allowed to speak for 3 minutes, only when recognized by the supervisor. Profanity will not be allowed. There will be no threatening or intimidation of anybody. These procedures are to be followed. The chair asks that this meeting is not voluntary compliance. Assistance will be summoned to complete the request. We are here to work together for the best of the township. We'll allow the views of everyone to be heard, and we will actually move along the township with a positive matter. I thank you for your attention in this matter. Ray Virgo. Okay, so I read any public comment? 3 minutes.
You might as well go with Alcatraz.
Let me go.
Yeah. He is the superintendent of the school.
Yeah.
The new superintendent.
So my name is Travis DePoit. I am the new superintendent at North Central Area Schools. I have been on the job now for 16 days. And it feels a lot longer than that because we have been busy working and trying to get the word out for something that we are very passionate about, and we are trying to be as transparent as possible with the community about what we are looking to try to do. So Mr. Florinsky, our former superintendent, is passing us some flyers right now. We also have here Chris Vader, our board president, and we are talking about the sinking fund proposal that we have on the ballot on August 6th. So essentially what we are asking for is 3 mills for 4 years to renovate our schools, both in Hermansville and in Powers. We are in desperate need of new roofs, heating systems, just a lot of infrastructure upgrades that are necessary for our buildings to continue to operate and function safely for our students and our staff. We understand right now the way the economy is and things like that, that asking for an increase in taxes is not easy, and it's not something that we take lightly. We understand, I guess, the magnitude of what we are asking. However, you know, as the superintendent of this district and our school district kind of being the cornerstone, the centerpiece of our 2 communities, I think it's important that we as the taxpayers try to do what we can to make sure that our district continues to flourish for the foreseeable future. I've been a resident of Hermansville, Meyer Township, for the past 10 years. My 2 children are going to be Jets, and I am very thankful for that opportunity for them, and I want our district to continue to be around for many years. And in order for us to be able to do that, we simply just do not have the funds to maintain our buildings with the current funding that we get from the state of Michigan, which is why for our big upgrades that we need, we have to call and ask on the taxpayers to help us out. So as part of us trying to be transparent, we have been going to local meetings. You know, we've attended the Sportsman Club meetings. We have some of our team members in Spalding tonight at their township meeting, trying to spread the word and then answering any questions that any of you might have about what we're looking to do and why we are asking for these funds. So I know that I'm probably over my 3 minutes already, so I would welcome any questions that anyone in the audience or any of you might have in terms of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. You know, I'm very passionate about education, and I'm very much looking forward to leading our school district and being, you know, and contributing member in this community for many years to come.
Thank you.
If anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them, or anyone else here.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I hope people vote for it. Bottom line is, if you ain't got school in your community, you ain't got much. So even if you don't have kids, you gotta look past your nose, because your property value will go way down if there's no school in the area. And we need a school in this area. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Yep.
Board, vote on it? No? Okay, so addition to the agenda, we got any, no?
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
I have one, the resolution. Resolution 24-02,
Okay,
that's it.
so with that, we'll do that right now, right?
We'll put that at the end of action item, number 6.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
I'll set, my guy? Say
Aye.
Okay, bills?
Excuse me, is public comment over?
No, we still got,
Okay.
he didn't ask for it, but there's still public comment.
Oh, yeah, you didn't, nobody said nothing, why? You
No,
got-
I just said, after he got done talking about the school, you guys went to something, I don't know. So if
Anybody else have a comment? No comment? You wanna stand up so we can hear you?
They're gonna have comment now?
Yeah, public
Yeah,
comment.
it's still public
Okay,
comment.
I
We
just
can-
wonder why, we are not having the grass cut at the museum. I know that he didn't have anybody for a while, but, why is it not being done?
Mark?
He said
I thought we
He said we
stated
weren't gonna
last
cut.
meeting that we were going
I
to keep it
thought
as
we weren't
planned.
gonna cut it, cause Dave and his wife cut for car show and everything, so I can have Matt do it.
Well, we had it done because.
Because I know we talked about it, we said
Right.
it, Jen. I know we talked about
But
it.
Barb
but
knew
then
that.
Decided to.
That nobody
Keep
was
it the
gonna be
same.
cutting it. 'Cause we didn't have anybody for like, what, 3 weeks, so.
Yeah, I know that, but no.
Any other public comment?
I don't know how to say this, but my 14-year-old son come home and said, "Dad, you ain't gonna believe what's on YouTube." And I said, "What do you mean?" One of the guys on the board member told an old lady he would punch her in the face. Miles told me face. So we went on YouTube, I looked at the video, and I was really hoping, and I even texted Misty today, I really am hoping that Chad would apologize to that lady before we got here. On the simple fact that you are an elected official for this township. You represent this township and the people in the township. Now, this lady might be the biggest thorn in your side, she might be a pain in the ass. I don't care. The bottom line is, you're an elected official in our community representing us. And the way you went off at the end of that meeting last month is crazy. Unbelievably crazy. With the cuss words and everything else. And Mark and Brent, under control. Cheryl had her piece, under control. You lost it. Totally lost it.
I'll grant you that.
But you haven't apologized to her. So you know you don't grant it, you don't recognize it because you haven't apologized. How would if I went off on your grandma, 75-year-old lady, and told her I'd punch her in the face if she was a man? How would you feel? How would you feel, Brett, if I was your mom and I said that to you, or Mark, if I said that about you? You guys wouldn't like it.
No.
And I don't even know this lady from Adam. I really don't. And I really don't care to waste my hour and a half of my time after work sitting in this meeting that actually means nothing to me. I'm gonna pay my taxes, I'm gonna go along with whatever I gotta do, mind my own business. But when I saw that, I was praying and hoping that you would at least say, you know what, I lost my cool, I'm sorry. But you did. And now you're gonna vote, you're going for township supervisor. I don't care if we got Joe Biden sitting here, or we got a 90-year-old man out of Pinecrest. I will not vote for you. On the simple fact that I cannot believe you said that to a 75-year-old lady. 70, I don't even know how old she is. Really don't. I don't even know how old she is. She might be
Really,
80.
forgive us.
I could care less.
I'm an old lady.
I just,
I'm 70.
and that's all I gotta say, sorry.
I'm 72.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
I just want to add that even after you were doing that, swearing at her like that, you still did not stop when Raymond was pounding his gavel. You still did not stop. That's just not, that's unacceptable.
The meeting was adjourned.
No, you would try to adjourn it.
No, it was adjourned, Rita.
No.
No, sorry. We can bring the video if you want to see it.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Everybody sees it.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
He says, let's adjourn the meeting so we can say what we really want to say, is what he
looked at
said.
me and he
But
said,
before that,
"We need
it was to
adjourn."
punch you in the face or punch you in the throat if you're a man. And then after the gavel went down, he threw the big F-bomb when she tried to talk to him. He goes, go fuck yourself, is what he told her.
That's what he
You
said.
just
After
said
the
that
meeting's
wrong.
adjourned.
I
And
understand.
guys, the meeting's on video.
Yeah. But still,
I mean, come on.
Now it's on it
he's
again.
always hitting his gavel and nothing's ever stopped. That's unacceptable for you to do that to a supervisor.
I have something to
Thank
say.
you.
In all due respect to all of you, this is nothing personal, but division of power, y'all never gave Ray a fucking chance. Use my language. Never gave him a chance. You always were on top of him. Like now that it's on video, we all can see, but that's just wrong. And like, I have nothing personal against you, Chad, but like in that moment, it was like, it's completely political at this point. Like that's just why. You have an issue with her, take it outside of this room and confront her personally.
You're right.
Like there's a way to do things and there's a way not to do things. And that was just disrespectful. And if you don't agree with her, you don't have to agree with her. If she's bringing light to something that you don't like or she had said something about you, it doesn't need to be brought to this room. And that's really unfortunate the way it all unfolded. It really is. And like I don't have anything personal against you, but now I'm just like, whoa. And I think a lot of people are gonna feel that way, and maybe they don't. But that's the way I feel, and it's a very disappointment to see that and to see it flood all over, like, and people are talking about it. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then, how many people in this room have actually read the 13-page letter from the state for the audit? Have you all read it?
Yes.
Okay, because that's a big deal. Like, you guys need to go home and read that, because, no offense, but none of you look good.
I have a comment.
And like, am I over by 3 minutes?
Yes.
Wait till she finished.
She has 3 minutes. She's passed with
3 minutes.
Go home and read it. Please go home and read it, because Cheryl, your job duties were being tasked to, like, you were overwhelmed with your job duties, and Chad, no offense, you're running for supervisor, but you weren't even doing your own job as clerk.
I ran the office that I inherited. That was done that way before I took office.
If you read it down and they break it down by job, okay, read it. Everybody, okay, the 6 people who read it, good for you. Everybody else go home and read it. I'm an accounting major and I have audited different entities, government entities. Trust me, read it.
Janet, you got something to say?
Yes, I just said, these people are over the 3 minutes.
Thank you, Janet.
We need a timer on the table.
Anybody
Set that
else
timer.
got, wait, anybody else? Keith?
Yeah, you know who I am. this thing about downplaying this audit, because it is being downplayed. The audit isn't done by the township, it's not done by the county, it's done by the state. It mentions the clerk and it mentions the treasurer. That's what it mentions in there, really. You know, as far as Mrs. Kennedy goes, I guess nobody took the time to even know who the hell you were. However, I was here when the supervisor passed out, because Mark had said one time, he said, we don't even know who this lady is. Didn't know who she was. He brought in I guess you would call a resume. Every one of them had it. I was sitting right where David's sitting. You know what they did? They seen what it was about and they turned it over. Never even read it. So, with your permission, I'm going to give a little background. How many years did you work for the university down in Michigan?
Oh my God, it's Michigan State University.
Right, how long?
25 years.
25 years. She was also, if I can say this, because I know you don't like to talk about it, she was on the case that convicted Larry Nasser, who had touched over 250 young girls and sent him to prison for 40 to 175 years. That was her. She was on that case with those lawyers. How about that for some background?
She wasn't alone on that case.
She was not alone on that case. There was many, but she was on there. But nobody took the time. Nobody took the time to even do any background check on her. They call her a liar. Well, if she's lying, then call her out on it. If she's slandering, then go and file charges against her. That's what I say. But nobody's doing it. They're running their mouths down at the park, up here, over there. Take the time to know her. I did. And what happened to her? That's terrible. That's terrible. You're lucky they didn't drag you out of here and flog you.
Oh, it will be.
Thank you, Kate.
So
No, it's
I'm
not.
super curious about this
I said
audit.
you're lucky they didn't.
I'm extremely curious about this audit. As a tax-paying member of this township, I'm hoping today we know what we stand at for a cost, additional cost to our township for this audit, and where we're currently at with this. What are we looking for a timeline? What is this going to look like? How long is this reaching out? And then we can have an understanding of end cost of what it's going to be to our township, additional dollars.
It's on the agenda.
Well,
if you talk about it.
Perfect, I hope you're gonna share that, those numbers.
If we don't get the grant, it's gonna cost us $55,000 to $75,000. So, figure maybe 65 or.
Additional dollars that were unbudgeted.
Right. And that's one street in Hermansville that we could have got fixed. And it's taken a long time, but I think we're close to getting all the stuff in, but that's in, all the stuff that they sent in. What Willie and I are working on is make sure all the bills are in line, and we took in $10 and we only got $6. We spent $6, so we should have $4 left. We're working on trying to get that information. I don't know if it's in or not, but I think we're like, what, 64% in? I think when I last looked, so there's some more to go, right? When will that be? Just gotta be filed?
It's gotta be scanned in and sent.
Yeah, so how long would that be?
Once we get everything, probably another week.
Yeah, well, that'd be fine. But yeah, so, yeah, I know, that's pretty bad, you know? When we all got paid our checks, and for 4 years, it amounts to like $75,000 to $85,000, and what do we get done? Arguing about stuff. Willie is trying to help us get out of this mess. Without Willie, the state would be right now taking these books and doing them, and they would take every dime we got left.
Yep.
And that's a fact. So, anybody else got a public comment?
I have one.
Okay.
At the beginning, you read the protocols for the meeting and the rules to follow. And if someone on the board cannot follow those rules about threatening someone, how could you expect someone else to? You have this position and you need to adhere to your own rules if you expect everyone else to follow them.
Well, we try. I do anyway.
I'm just making a comment.
If I don't, you correct me. Anybody else? Okay, well, we're gonna move on. Okay, so I guess, next thing with,
Still on the bills.
oh, we didn't do the bills yet. I'm trying to go way ahead.
Are we past public comment?
Well, there'll be another one at the end too. We got another bill here from the law office, from our lawyer, for $618.75. Does anyone know what that's for? It says legal services rendered.
Is that all it's in there?
Well, we got a bill last month for $600 some too. I don't know the number.
Last month it was $1,600.
Oh, 1,600, my bad. Yeah, so I guess I just wanna know where this random bill's coming from here.
Ray, did you talk to him about sending us an itemized bill?
No.
Like for what he did instead of just putting legal services on there?
Well,
Was that what he did?
He was gonna check in.
I'm not allowed to talk to him, remember? We have one representative to talk to him.
Yeah, well, you said you were gonna be a
Okay.
representative.
No, I didn't. If I can talk to him, I'll call him. If that's all right with everyone here, I'll call him and I wanna know. If that's for the deed preparation for Jamie, well then,
It
That's-
didn't say anything about that on the bill.
well, yeah, that'd be the only
It
thing I
just
can
said
think
going
of.
over emails and correspondence.
Well, he sat here for what, hour and a
No,
half?
this
This
is
came
after
with
that.
for that.
This is one we just got.
I'll check into it.
I seen it in here.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Does everybody go over the bills? Make a motion to pass the bill, then?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
I'll say aye.
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 Now, the minutes, of the last meeting, there was anything that had to be changed on there or anything, or anybody read them? Make a motion to approve them?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I'll say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now the treasury report, we'll approve it as final. Because otherwise, until the audit is done. Okay, the old business would be one, the attorney's invoice. That's what you said you were gonna check them last month.
Yeah, well, I'll check her over this month then, now that I got permission.
So what did he say last month?
I wasn't allowed to.
Well, I said you,
Now I'm allowed to. I got the okay. I'll call him.
I thought I heard you say, I'm gonna call him and that's it.
That's not what I said.
I will have to check.
That's good.
Okay, the sewer. That guy, he's been calling, and getting his paperwork done, but then you called him and you didn't send him, he wants a he needs an itemized bill with the township tax number on it. He
I
wants
sent
his
him
bill
all of it.
there, huh?
I sent him that.
He said he didn't get that. You sent him a bill what he owed for way back.
Well, there's been the ones that I gave Willie, or that I put in your box for Willie that she delivered to him. There's those two, right? There's been two.
I had
That's
one.
the total arrearage.
That's his total bill.
that
That's
comes
what he
to-
owes.
Yeah,
Right,
but he
what-
wanted an
But
itemized bill,
he
start right
called,
now.
he called and left me a message. He needed 3 copies of the bill, the tax number, and an account number that I made up for him that he could use for his paperwork.
Yeah.
And he asked me to send it P.O. Box, what his P.O. Box number is, and I did exactly what he asked me to do the next morning. I sent it to him.
Well,
And then I saw him up in Iron Mountain a couple days after that and told him that I had sent it out, and he said, okay, I'll have to make sure I go down and check the mail. Now, that's the last time that I heard from him.
Well, he said today that he didn't get a monthly bill for this, like for this year coming, this month, like would be for the month of July.
He was billed April 1st, like an annual customer,
Yeah.
through March 31st of 2025.
Cause he always did it annual.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a new line item on his bill that shows up each month when I give Willie an invoice. Cause that's not how his bill is set up.
Well,
Because if we did it that way, his bill would be 25 pages long.
he just wants it for the month of, be for June, and then July he wants another one, and he said he'd pay it. And then
Well, he
Willie,
wants to be on monthly then.
yeah,
So
Instead
he
of
said he'd
yearly.
pay that bill for $24, and Willie and him are working, Willie, am I right, working with,
He called me again this afternoon several times, and what we had asked for, and that's what I asked for at the last meeting, we need a single month's charge. And he said if he can get that he's going to try to stay current with paying the monthly charge. The arrearage, we're working with the VA and other entities to try to get assistance there. We had asked for a monthly bill with his account number and/or the tax ID number. He told me today that what he got was the total arrearage, which I believe is $3,050.
Right, yeah.
And he said all I had on that was a sticky note, a blue sticky note
With
with
the
numbers
tax
on it.
number and the account number.
And he also said that he had gone up and he'd asked for his letter from the VA and for disability, because he's 100%. And he was very, very discouraged because he got his letter and they had messed it up. And they're saying 0%, disability. So I'm going to work with him again tomorrow. We're gonna see if we can't get a fast track into the VA to get that money, or to get that letter, and then he can apply. Now, the money down in Escanaba, they're not gonna have money available again until October. But what he's saying is I really do want to pay the bill on a monthly basis. So what I do need to know, to confirm, has that rate of $24 a month gone into play? If he's being billed on a monthly basis.
What we would have to do is we would have to basically, and it wouldn't be that difficult to do if we want to do it this way. We'd have to take off the annual charge that I put on April 1st and then break that down into monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have a $24 one every month then. Would
Well,
be
that's
how.
what I'm thinking, even if we were to set up a ghost account and put his number, because he says my account number is my fire number.
Right.
And then you have the township ID on there, which is, but that needs to go right on the bill. So if we could set that up so he gets a monthly bill with that account number and the tax ID on there, that he said, because the idea, he's going to try to keep up with that, but he said he doesn't know how well he's gonna be able to do it, but he's working with these other entities trying to get money. So if we have that information, we can take all of that in, especially to the VA specialty officer. That's gonna be very beneficial. Hopefully.
When you get that copy of his disability thing from the VA?
Oh, it'll go in. I'm
Okay,
talking with Brent also.
yeah, we just need, oh, okay, cause
Yeah.
we just need a copy of that so that we
Right.
can
That's,
fix his
that's why I asked him,
taxes.
because he said, I got my tax bill.
Cause I had talked to Bernie about that.
And I said, oh, for God's sakes, did you get your disability letter in? And I was explaining that to him.
And Brent said it's not too late, but the
We gotta
sooner
get
the
it.
better,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
in-
And I was wondering, cause I've been trying to call him and his voicemail is full, so,
I'm in touch with Brent about that too, so.
good, okay.
So
All right,
anyway,
well, I can bust that up on Friday morning,
Okay, that would be great.
and that'll change his arrearage balance because we changed it to this.
Okay, whatever we can do, if we can get all that.
So he'll have a
compiled.
he'll have a new total statement
Yeah.
too after we do that.
Yeah, okay, that's great, but that's what we need right now. And I mean, I appreciate, he was so disappointed, he was almost in tears today when he called me. He said, I was so excited, I thought I got my VA letter for 100%, and he said, and they messed it up. So I appreciate the fact that he's trying.
so if you can let Willie handle that between you two, because, you know, that, she knows what's going on, and keep trying, and we'll get it paid, it gotta be paid, so whether state pays it or who pays it, it doesn't make a difference, but is there anybody else that's way back? No? Okay, well, that's good. Okay, so the next thing is the bids for the garage. For the, fix the roof,
Oh.
you know? So those are the bills. You wanna open them?
I can.
That top one of them's for just repairing what's there, and one's for new steel, so there's gonna be two
Yeah,
different
there's,
ones.
well, there's a couple of different ones, but you won't.
My only concern with these is we can't award one.
Why?
Where's the money gonna come from?
Not for the odds.
Well,
So that does, we can't,
I mean, basically all these, they're quotes more than bids, really.
right,
well, it says, on the general account, we got $182,000 in there. So I don't think that, the roof needs to be fixed,
the roof, for
Huh?
sure, the roof, yes.
you know?
It's
And the doors gotta be put in. So I told them to do it, whatever, several bids in, fix the roof, so we get the doors in.
Okay, I see that you've got them,
Yeah.
they're marked for
So that's
different
not-
things
yeah.
here. Okay. Well, we can open them.
But if we award the bids, some of them should get the bids, so that if we, because usually what the township does is they get the bids and they say, well, no, we're not gonna do it, not our board, but before. Then somebody knows what the bid is, and then they bid it cheaper,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So if they're gonna award them to somebody at a different time, if it goes up a little bit, the way inflation is going, or the material costs more, we pay more. But otherwise, let's do it that way, so nobody gets hurt.
All right, well, this one's,
Willie, what?
And they need to have a contractor's license number on them.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, they all know that.
Okay.
all right, first one is from Schultz Home. And this is for Township Garage old roof repair.
Yeah, that's with no steel, that's just fixing what's there.
Okay,
Who's that from?
Yeah, Steve.
Stevie Schultz.
Oh.
$16,997.86. And you said that's just fixing what's there?
That's just patching it.
No,
You're
that's,
not gonna like that one.
Yeah.
This is from Schultz, this is for a new roof.
well, it doesn't need a new roof. It gotta just be re-screwed down and pull the nails out and re-screw it.
$26,916.60.
The problem with the old steel is the wind caught it and there's big holes up there. So either way, you're gonna have to patch over them holes.
No kidding.
Well, I'm
The
just
roof
telling you.
gotta be fixed so it don't leak.
So you're gonna put tar over a hole? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, sure.
Cedar Swamp Carpentry. $5,350. That's for repair or replace all damaged fascia boards on 3 sides of the building. Add a 2x2 nailing board along all 3 sides of the building. Install aluminum J-channel on the 2x2 board. Install white aluminum soffit panels on all 3 sides of the building. Install drip edge along edge of roof on all 3 sides. Install white aluminum fascia and all fascia boards on entire building. Removal of all loose nails on entire metal roof system. Reinstall metal screws with grommets where nails were removed. Inspect cupola and fix or seal accordingly. Coat entire roof with Rust-Oleum Elastomere roof coating after power washing.
How much is that for?
$5,350. And then there's more. The $5,350 was for that first part, for the removal of all loose nails and such. Coat entire roof to required thickness of coating, that's $4,125. And then finally, removal of existing cinder block wall inside building, frame in edges of cinder block, install 26 by 12, 2 by 6 wall on interior of building, install 5/8 fireproof drywall on both sides of the wall, tape and mud all seams and screw holes, remove 2 exterior doors, install 2 new entry doors and frame in sides of door to required width. $7,300 for that part. But he's got it split up into the 3 different jobs.
Who is
So how
that?
much, did he bid on the,
Keith Sexton, yeah.
did he bid on the stonework?
Well, we got 2 more here.
Oh.
So that's for that part. This says mortar bid on it.
This guy here, he's the stone guy also.
Alright, this one's also from Keith Sexton. 11,750 for the stonework. That's for the stonework around the building.
And, did that include the cap and everything? Should, everything that had to be done, everything stuccoed in,
Says
because the,
scratch coat, is that the right
yeah,
term?
yeah.
Scratch coat all exposed stones on front of building with mortar. Fix cap on roof section of building. Install stucco on all damaged windows on building. Install cultured stone on 54 inches high on the front wall of the building.
Yeah, yeah, the rest will go with steel.
That doesn't say anything about the steel.
Well, no, but he just bid the stone on
Okay.
that one, yeah.
Alright, so that's that one. And
Nobody, I don't think nobody building nothing on steel, we're just trying to get the building, stones are falling out.
J Stone Building Company.
He's from Wilson, that's the guy that's in the left advertiser, that was his bid.
Okay.
What did he bid?
1,284 square feet of manufactured stone or stucco finish. Demo and repair gable cap. Demo and repair cap on chimney. Lay block in door for new door install. Estimated time of completion is 3 weeks from start date. $23,112. $23,112. That's for the stonework.
That's
Yeah,
just.
that's not even fixing the roof.
That's not the
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with the roof.
The biggest thing now is to fix the roof,
Yeah.
because it's leaking in a lot of spots in there.
So that first one that Shiner gave, that was for the repair, right, of the roof?
Well, if the
The
first two parts. So we've got,
Yeah, because they figured where Jason wanted that.
Stonework, those stoneworks are on
New
17.
walls.
They're on 27 for everything.
so it would be $9,475 for Shiner to do the roof.
Roof.
Would that be just recording it then?
That's the recoating and that's the new fascia boards and fascia.
Fascia.
How much was
Fascia.
that?
And new screws and grommets.
Yeah. So that would be this part, and then from here to here.
That would be the door inside wall, right?
No, that doesn't include the inside. That adds another 7,300 to do the inside wall. I think out of all of it, the roof is what,
That's the
Has to
main
be
thing
done.
has to be done.
Well, it's a no-brainer for
Because all the
sure.
ceiling tiles are falling in there.
Just, how much do you wanna put into something? I get what you gotta do, but you gotta make sure it's done right.
So what was Schultz's bid on,
16,000. Well, basically
Really,
17,000.
on the insurance.
Yeah.
no, she got his licensed contractor? He got his license number on there? It's gotta have a licensed contractor, because if something goes wrong, they're gonna have to,
Some guys
Steve's,
are all licensed.
Steve's,
licensed.
Steve's does not have the number on it.
He's not licensed.
Well, he is.
He's licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And Shiner's does have the license number on it.
what does Schultz go by?
Schultz Home Renovations and Handyman Services. Excuse me.
Well, I don't think that showed up on the license, who got licenses.
Got rid of one partner since then.
Huh?
He got rid of his partner since then.
But I mean, is he licensed? What's the bids? All total, for Shiner and, Steve Schultz wants how much?
almost 17,000.
And what does Shiner
wants
want?
almost 10,000
For the roof.
for the.
Yeah.
Just the roof.
So Shiner is the lowest bidder?
Yes, by
By a
far.
lot.
Half price.
Well, I think that, as long as he's licensed, I think he would be the one that we should get. You know, not like we did the other one, give him 20 grand for nothing, you know? And what about this one? This is the one for the stone?
That's for the stone.
And how much was the other guy's? 23,000?
23, yep.
That's just.
I think the stone is the lowest on the priority list.
Yeah. But I mean, if it ever is gonna be let out, we should go by the lowest bidder now, because otherwise, you know?
Well, I make a motion, we have Shiner, but we're sitting here all night
I'll
talking about it.
second it.
Well, just fix the
And
leak.
what about the stone? If it ever needs the stone work, that's gotta be done. The stones are falling out.
Well, let's just wait on the
Yeah,
stone
yeah,
for right
yeah,
now.
but I mean, if, so that, because otherwise somebody down that they know, and, like you guys, and, if you want to bid on it, you know what Shiner bid, you know? If you ever, I'm just using that as an example, you know?
We can keep the bids for later and check back when everything's done with the audit.
Bids are only good for 30 days.
Yeah.
The roof's gotta get fixed either way, so
Okay, so should we make a motion,
I just did.
I'll second his motion to get the roof fixed by Shiner.
Now, did we allot all this money out of the COVID money? It's all
Yes,
allotted.
yeah,
all except for about
$900.
$735.
It was going to that road.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the
I thought
final,
so, I was just
and the
double
final bill on that hasn't come in yet, so we'll know the exact amount as soon as the road commission bills us for the chip seal. All in favor?
Aye.
Does Shiner have in here when he could have it done, or when he could start?
No.
Well, I suppose he doesn't know when he could start.
Yeah. What does he, that one guy wanted to have done, what's the Shiner want done? Or do we say?
It doesn't say on here.
Probably that.
That other guy, on his bid though, he was gonna put stone all the way to the top on the front, I
And
think.
we're just voting on the roof, the two roof
Right.
portions, right?
The roof portion and
Yeah, the
tearing
first,
that wall out?
no, just the first two, not the wall, just the roof right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, so he had 3 bids in then?
Yeah, there's 3 bids on here.
Oh, sure.
But we voted on this one and this one.
Just to
The
do
eaves and the
the roof.
fascia.
Yeah, just the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the roof got that big, heavy tin on that lasts another 100 years, but you gotta pull the nails out that are, they wiggle and blow, that's what's happening, you know?
Okay.
Okay, so we got things out there, Cheryl. Okay, the well, are everybody ready to go on? Okay, so the well permit was $435. No, $453. And the guy is gonna come out there and figure where the well gotta go. And, but I went there 3 times to get this permit. The other lady I talked to, she said, no, it's $500 and some and stuff. And I saw the other lady told me 400 and some, so I went back there today and I got this all done. So it's $453, that's what they want. And then I gotta get one of those, slips to give them and write them on a check and they'll give us the permit.
I put the bill
For
on.
four campsites for now, so if you ever wanna do it, otherwise you gotta go to Eagle and you gotta pay them all the money, so we do it the smaller way for now, so. So he's gonna come out there and look at it, but he wants to check first, so then he'll call me and come out there.
Okay.
So, and then the well, this will be the well driller's permit also.
Did you get a price from the well driller of the total of what it's gonna cost? Is the Hannibal grant money you got gonna be enough?
Heck, no. No. One guy that drilled a well, I think it went up to, like $16,000 or $17,000, but we're just gonna get a hand pump on ours. So it all depends how many feet he's gonna go down, so they really can't, but
They
he's,
don't know until they,
yeah,
I've never had to drill a well before, I don't.
yeah, well,
Well, they're gonna drill through the ledge, so that'll save you in the casing anyways.
yeah, they gotta go to the ledge and cement it in at least 25 feet, and then they cement it in there, so I don't think we should have no trouble getting water there,
Hell, why didn't say his was?
but it's,
Can't remember, you just told me too last week.
but I mean, I've been dickering with this for a year. So anyway,
Well, I'll
so,
make a motion to get the permit.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Okay. Number 5, Willie, are you gonna talk about the audit?
Sure. We contacted Mr. Vaughn, Kerry Vaughn, who is the head of the audit department for the state of Michigan, and said, hey, we need to know where we're at. We have a meeting coming up. And his email came back saying, thank you, Mr. Ray, for the email. I understand the process is taking longer than we had hoped. However, we are working the details out internally. I hope to have something ready soon. Rest assured, we have not forgotten about you and are working diligently to develop a plan that will be beneficial for the township. Unfortunately, that's all I can convey at this time. But we're trying to get the information in, and by talking with Rod Taylor. Rod used to be the head of the audit department, and so he pretty much hired Harry coming in, so they work together very, very well. The cost for the audit, Meyer and Costerison, the accounting firm that we were able to contract, is indicating $55,000 to $75,000. Now, the other thing that the state of Michigan agreed to initially, we were going to have to go back to the beginning of 2019. They agreed that we could go back and start with 2020. So what we have to do is to recreate the books from 2020 to 2024. Now, once that is done, then we have to have a 2020 audit and a 2022 audit to be done by the state. Now, the other plus thing with this is the fact that we have the USDA loan for the sewer, and we are, actually, they want an audit every year. But they have agreed to comply with whatever the state is asking us to do at this time. So their take on is that we're gonna start with 2020. If they start running into problems or issues that they think needs to go back to 2019, then we will have to do that. The other thing is, I do know this is, the pending grant is up with the business department right now, and from talking with these individuals, I know that this lady is very diligent and wants to make sure she has all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. So, right now, what I am hearing now is they're very concerned. They've been asking for the financial information to be uploaded to the accounting firm, that once we hit that, if we get that grant, that they're gonna be ready to hit the ground running. And they're telling me, look, we've been requesting stuff since the first part of June, and we still don't have everything. So we need to do diligence on making sure that we get everything in there so that they're ready to go. Now, time frame, I have no idea. It's gonna be contingent on what they have to work with, what they run into. I can tell you, Meyer and Costerison is an excellent, excellent accounting group. I worked with them for 25 years at Michigan State, so I know that they're going to be very diligent about getting things done. So I appreciate that.
Does the state have a deadline for us?
The initial deadline was going to be, I believe it was June 3rd. We were mandated, if you read the audit, that we had 90 days to purchase new software applicable for governmental accounting. They have said that we can continue with the QuickBooks, but we have to make sure that that audit trail is turned on and, remains that way. And we also, of course, had to hire the accountant, which was a trip in the middle of accounting season, or tax season. You're not going to get an accountant. And so, due to the fact that we were able to, we had a special meeting on May 4th, and we agreed to contract Meyer and Costerison. So we had our accounting firm, and as long as we continue to do our due diligence and they can see that we're working on it, then they're willing to work with us. However, like Perry said, this is taking longer than they anticipated, and that's one of the reasons we want to have all the information in there that we can have. So once that grant comes through, dear God, I hope it comes through, because we're not gonna be able to afford $55,000 to $75,000 for an audit.
And is there a time frame for the grant?
No, it's just gonna be contingent on whenever they get back. Because truly, the state's opinion is that they really and truly want the different municipalities to be brought up to par with, what the requirements are for the accounting. So they really do wanna help us out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Lily. Okay, now, action items, T-Mobile, that's the one that's putting that on the bigger road. They're gonna put 6 new antenna heads on there and new radios for transmitting, so no additional height in the towers or nothing else is needed, so should get better phone service, I guess,
Better get something, huh?
so. The next item is, the IT Brooks. Brooks, it's your turn to speak. You got the floor.
Just have two things. I think we're paying for QuickBooks. I just had a recommendation. I talked to Cheryl about it. We're paying monthly. I think we should pay it in a lump sum, so we should have a vote on that. We'll save about $518 a year if we pay it in a lump sum. The lump sum will be $29.69. And if we paid it monthly, we'd end up paying $35.50 for the year. So it makes more sense to pay it all at once.
Well, we'll pay all at once, say that, I love it once.
I don't know what you guys want to do for, it's paid by credit card. I'm using my credit card. I'd rather not, but, so that's a recommendation to get a Township credit card, use it for those kinds of things. I know you guys are kind of against that, but it's, 2024, you kind of just can sign it out. It doesn't have to, someone running off with a credit card kind of situation.
Does the township not?
What is your credit card number?
What is my credit card number? I'll let you know after the meeting. And then for township accounts, I think we should, instead of using anybody on the board or any employees, if they have a recommendation to setting up personal accounts, we should always be signing it under harmarsville.com, any kind of account. Because we have access to that in case there's a personnel transfer or, that's easy access to a central location for the information. And I'll provide a data sheet for whoever, if someone takes over my job, or whatever is needed, So there'll always be all the passwords, usernames, account creations. For example, I transitioned QuickBooks to QuickBooks at whatever, to a harnessville.com email address. It's just good practice to have everything centrally located rather than having, I know that you guys always didn't have access to creating accounts on demand, but now you do for harnessville.com. So anyway, that's my recommendation. I don't know if you guys want to adopt that or not.
Is that something you can help them with?
I can help you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bruce.
I just want to mention for the board, there is information in your packets regarding the credit card and, the IRS requirements. But there are also the policies, because there definitely, as Carol had told us last month, there definitely are policies that you would have to set up parameters prior to getting the credit card. So that's just kind of a no-brainer. But there's a recommendation there as to what we might follow.
Does anybody in the audience have a credit card?
Everybody does.
You're not getting mine.
No, but I mean, a credit card, if you do, I'd like the numbers. No, but anyway, a credit card is the only way to do things, because you gotta trail right down what you do. The board so far agreed not to do it, but if we're gonna move forward, we're gonna have to get it, I think.
Should be reconciled every month. You reconcile it, that way everybody identifies who used it, for what, it's available for public to see. It's 2024.
A lot of companies now can even assign different credit cards according to person. So when you log into that account, you can be like, this person used it for this person used it for this. You can divide that out between everybody. So you always know, but signatures absolutely should be mandatory for something like that.
Well, I think it's a good idea, but so far the board has all agreed not to do it, but.
Spalding Township uses credit cards, so everything's accountable there, they say.
Yeah. I mean, it's a way to.
Why would we not?
It's actually safer.
Pardon?
Why would we not use a credit card? I guess I'd like to understand that, why not?
What, Chad?
What is the reason?
Why would you
I
not
don't
use
use it. You guys wasn't either. I don't need it for stuff that I get, but For stuff like Brooke wants to do, you have to have a credit
Well,
card to
for
do it.
Brooks to.
I think for everything, for gas,
Yeah.
for Menards, for all of it, should be
Yeah.
credit cards,
So we
there's
know.
a trail.
Because that's one of the big things we're having now, trying to piece, who did this? Somebody goes to Menard, they sign their name by just writing their,
Doctor's signature.
But when I go, I put what it's for.
yeah, you do, I see.
Community club,
Yeah.
all them and wherever.
Yeah, but,
The credit card will actually allow, it'll cut time down, time usage for the treasurer. If you have a credit card right now, Brooks has to use his credit card, and then you have to submit for reimbursement, and then you have to go in and have that approved. And there's a lot of steps there you can just eliminate by the reconciliation of that credit card every month. Everyone can see exactly what was
right.
purchased.
And if it's abused, it'll show up right the next month.
Not to mention, that's
You
kind of
know?
unfair for a township to take advantage of one individual's credit card.
Yeah, he should not have to charge anything for the township
Pat,
to
did you
his
wanna say
personal
something?
credit card. That's totally against the township practices.
Very valid.
Are we at public comment right now?
No.
No.
I kind of lost
No.
track, so, okay, all right. Enough said.
Okay, so should we make a motion to get a credit card?
I make a motion, we get a credit card.
You know? And I second that, so that we got a paper trail of whatever we do. And whoever wants to use, if Brad had one, I mean, Brad, that's,
I just recommend you get a credit card for everybody's name, though, if you're gonna do that, so that
Yeah.
you can see who did what.
if you use it, we know.
And it's so easy.
You know, because that's part of this audit is a real stinker, because who did this, who bought this and signed their name like a doctor, you know? Or like me, you know? And I mean, it's a way to do it, and no monkey business, you know? So all the audience agree with me or not?
Well, we don't have, well, you guys got.
This is not public
No,
comment.
I need some support, that's all.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's good practice.
Whatever we say.
Public comment, vote call.
Yeah, so,
I made a motion
yeah,
to get one.
everybody
Ray
agree?
seconded it.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor?
Hey,
Okay, so.
Who's gonna get it?
I
I think the treasurer.
There's
I mean, that falls
a
under.
packet, yeah, there's a packet in there that tells you right to do
Where do you
it.
want me to go through? The
Pardon?
bank, where we have all our accounts, or credit union? Credit union, credit, better
Credit
interest rate?
union? Yeah, alright.
So we'll give them
Okay, so we had stuff stolen out of the township garage, what, 2 power saws and,
a
One power saw and a leaf blower.
yeah. Well, how come the power saw come back?
Yeah, I told you that ladies were on there, it's in that black box.
Oh, yeah, but.
There was only one saw,
Wasn't there 2 still saws?
only
one,
one.
Just one?
and a leaf blower. Leaf blower was a still too,
Yeah.
they're both still.
So anyway, we filed a police report and, but we gotta establish an inventory list of everything is in there. And I know, Mark, you said you got that for the insurance company, but I don't know how we're gonna have to mark them number 1 or number 2. You can't see the serial numbers on them. I couldn't.
On what? The
On
saws?
on the lead blower,
Oh,
or the weed whackers.
weed whackers, yeah, they're all wore off.
Yeah. But, so anyway, so we gotta do that, you know?
Well, that trooper called me, and I told him I would go down to Johnny's and look at them, because the 2 kids that were working on it was the went and bought it. So maybe he'll remember the 2 young kids when they come in and bought that power saw.
From Johnny Johnson?
Yeah,
Who were them?
the ones that work for us, 2 that quit.
Oh,
They had went and bought that 2 years
No,
ago.
they got
No,
that in
somebody-
March.
No,
Well, who
Andrew
bought the
got,
still there then?
The still's been there since we've been there. That's an old saw.
that new saw the kids bought, they bought it at Menards. That was a waste of money.
How do you figure?
I don't know.
But anyways, that still, I don't remember where you bought that still.
But there's a still, but anyway, now, we're gonna take an inventory, know what it is, you know?
Didn't we buy that from that place in Stevenson?
That was a weed eater.
Oh.
And then, okay, so we go to the,
Yeah, one thing, Greg, do you guys do a vote on paying annually? Do you have to do a vote over
I
500?
make a motion, we pay
I second
our
it.
QuickBooks yearly.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Brooke, for that.
Thanks, Brooke.
So anyway, the audit report.
Assessors audit.
Huh?
Assessors audit?
Yeah. Right here, you got that? So Willie, what did he say about that? You talked to him about it.
Brent indicated, he says, thank you for offering to bring this up to the board. I wanted to do it myself. Essentially what it is we're not going to have to do the audit this year, but he said we will need to do it next year. And what he would like to do is to get authorization from the board to go ahead and get the applicable information loaded onto the site. It's going to give folks a chance to look at it and see what's going on. And also when it comes time for the audit next year, he said if we have to change a couple things, it will just take a couple tweaks. And he just wants to have that up so we can hit the ground running.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, community club update.
Wait, we gotta do this.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, do you wanna present this, because it's kinda your,
Yeah, we're trying to do.
I'll read it, but
Yeah.
go ahead and present it.
Go ahead, do you want me to explain it first?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's been down to the pond, but the weeds have just taken it over bad. So some guys come to me, it wasn't my idea to do a millage. But it's anywhere between $13,000 and $20,000 to treat the weeds. So they asked if we could do a millage for 50 cents, a 2-year, half a mil for 2 years. So I told them I would see if we could put it on there, but I'm gonna have some public meetings before November. You know, so people just will think and try to do something with the pond, but right now you can't boat in it, you can't kayak, you can't fish, the kids can't fish in it. It's bad. But no ice last year, it didn't kill the weeds off. So that's what that is for. So it'd be 50 cents for every 1,000 of your taxable value, I do believe it is. I got it in my papers from Kleinman, but I'm gonna have some, I told me you have to have public meetings on it, you know, just to inform people. I tried the DNR all over to get money and we can't get nothing out of them.
I have a question real quick. Would that take care of like the beach area too and the overgrown?
Yeah,
Be that whole main side from pretty much the
It'd be
bridge
like
over to the
3 or
church,
4
right?
acres. The guy I contacted lives in Gaylord, he's the only guy who does sprayed in the UP. So we would do like from the beach out to just about around the point. Then from the tracks, probably just to where it starts by the church, you know, with that old thing by the church. 'Cause right now the kids can't fish. They're all complaining, but there's nothing you can do with it right now.
It's either treat it or drain it, and you can't drain it
I
again.
don't want to drain it
You
again.
can't.
Then you look at another 10 years before the kids can fish again.
Is there anything that's supposed to not hurt the swans or nothing?
These chemicals won't hurt.
No. Will they take a drink of that before they throw it in the water?
Oh, you can ask them, you might.
You know, I think it does, you know?
Because right now, it's useless. You
Yeah.
know, it's a big asset to the town.
Doesn't he does all the lakes in the UP, we were talking like Lake Mary and
Lake Ogeebic.
different
Lake
lakes
Antoine.
around that do the same process, so
He does the Yacht Harbor,
it's
that's
not just
Canava.
a random thing we,
Because that milfoil is the worst.
is that what it is?
Some of it is, but a lot of it's,
Some of it
I don't
is.
even know what the hell that weed's called that's spreading across there right now.
It's called coon's tail. And what happens normally is when boats go through, it just goes everywhere. So when it gets in the prop, it gets in and it spreads like wildfire pretty much. So milfoil is more of like, how do I explain? It's more of like an algae. This stuff is actually weeds. And over the last 5 years, it's just progressively got worse.
So if we do this, I mean, we just did it, what, 4 years ago?
What's that?
The poison the lake?
Never poisoned.
Never.
Nah.
We drained it in
16 years ago.
Okay.
17 years
Okay,
ago.
so how many years, we have to do this every 2-3 years, or what?
He said it'll keep it out for like 2 years.
Yeah,
So, like I told these guys, we could do this, but then we gotta have to do some fundraising somehow to raise money, you know, to be able to keep the weeds down.
Which we talked about.
Does anything eat them? Muskrat don't eat them weeds?
Not that
We
many.
don't need them muskrats.
We'll get more
We don't need
muskrats.
those
They should be
geese.
the size of moose if we get all of them.
Geese, I give it to myself.
How long do you have before it needs to be printed out to get results to public?
November.
When the
Well-
ballot, when is the ballot printed?
It will be on August.
It won't be.
No.
It'll be for the general election,
Or this, or
if we can.
The language, we've gotta vote, if we're gonna do it, we gotta vote on the language tonight, because the deadline for the language to be ready for the November ballots to be printed is before our August meeting.
yeah.
Cause the deadline for the ballot language is August 13th.
But I'm hoping I can get Jen Johnson, the head DNR boss, just to come down, and maybe Darren Kramer, because that's the ones I've been dealing with. You know.
So what are we gonna do? Make a motion to try to get it on the
Did you actually get an
ballot?
estimate on what it would cost, and this is what the millage would cost for 2 years?
He said it
To
would
get
be,
this done now?
it would be between 13 and 20,000, depending on what kind of weeds are in there. The milfoil we know is there.
Would it happen before, I mean, we have to vote it on it in November, would it happen after November?
It
Or
wouldn't,
would
ha-
we
it
wait
would,
till
you
after,
wouldn't,
in the
you wouldn't be
spring?
able to do it till it's spring. Yeah. Problem, we didn't have no ice last year. Usually if we can get 2-3 feet of ice, it kills the weeds.
What if we got 2-3 feet of ice this winter?
It'll kill it off, but it's gonna, I mean, if we don't get rain, this year we got a lot of rain.
But the millage would still be there, would
Right.
it be in a fund
Yeah,
for that purpose only?
just for the lake.
The way
That's
that it would work is that if it passes in November, it would go on the winter tax bills for December 1st. And then that $500,000 would be on the December tax bills
For the next 2 years?
for this year and for next year. Yeah.
But if you didn't need it, it would stay in some coffer somewhere and
Yeah,
that's
it
for
would
that
only
purpose
be,
only.
it'll only
Yeah.
be used for that.
Alright,
Well, what do you think?
Should I read the resolution?
Yeah?
Okay, Meyer Township Resolution 24-2. Resolution to establish Hermansville Lake Weed Mitigation Millage ballot language. Whereas the Township Board of Meyer Township wishes to provide invasive weed mitigation to Hermansville Lake. Whereas townships may impose and levy ad valorem property taxes to finance lawful public services as authorized by the Michigan Constitution of 1963 and other laws. And whereas the Township Board of Meyer Township wishes to levy 0.5 mils to provide funds for Hermansville Lake weed mitigation for a period of 2 years. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township Board of Meyer Township, Menominee County approves the following millage ballot question language and directs the clerk to submit it to be placed on the November 2024 election ballot. Meyer Township, Hermansville Lake weed mitigation. Shall Meyer Township impose an increase of 0.5 mils, 50 cents per 1,000 of taxable value in the tax limitation imposed under Article 9, Section 6 of the Michigan Constitution and levy it for 2 years, 2024 through 2025 inclusive, for invasive weed mitigation in Hermansville Lake, which 0.5 mil increase will raise an estimated $20,596.90 in the first year the millage is levied. Does somebody offer the resolution?
I will.
Seconded by Cheryl.
I'd like to see something else happen with it, but, I guess that the pond is for all the kids, so, you know,
We need to do a roll call vote.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, the resolution is adopted.
Okay, sewer department,
Sewer's running fine.
the parks, well, we'll get the permit, so we'll get that going.
Community club?
Yeah, the only thing I got is Ruth is doing a good job as the janitor now, and she's picking her up. So that's all I
Who's the
got.
janitor?
Ruth Shane.
Okay, so, okay, public comment?
I have a question. And Chad, you just said it, about this millage going that in the first year of the millage, it would raise $20,700 or something like that, I think it said.
2596.90.
Over the 2 years.
Over 2 years?
No, that's
First year.
First year, yeah, that's it.
And we need $13,000 to $20,000 to fix the pond, and we're going
The
with a
first
2-year
year.
millage.
That would be the first year.
Okay, so then that, whatever's, that, because it's gonna come out to about $50,000 for the 2 years of millage.
It would be.
So then the rest of the money just goes in a fund to update the pond,
For
to
the
keep on a pond.
Yep, it would have to go, it would have to stay there and be used only for that.
Okay,
by
yeah,
next
we need
year-
the pond.
Yeah.
Right, by next year, the price could double.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that's why,
I understand inflation, I understand, I just, when you said 25,000 in 1 year and we're looking for a 2-year millage and we were saying $13,000 to $20,000, like, well, we got that $13,000 to $20,000 covered in the first year, why do we need 2-year millage? But as long as it's going into a fund and it's gonna keep the
Yeah.
beach
Separate
and,
line item.
the pavilion going, so we can keep having stuff down there, and the pond is for the kids.
yeah, I mean, if we're lucky, we could get 3 weed treatments out of that,
Oh,
Yeah.
you know?
That'll
It lasts for
6
2
years.
Yeah.
So,
Will that be like the maintenance of it too, like bringing in more sand? Cause right now the beach is like overgrown, it's a mess, it looks horrible.
We're gonna try again
Yeah,
for
a
a
lot of
handle
people
grant
use it,
on
I
it.
mean, it'll be money well
What you gotta do
spent.
is, you gotta get a permit from Eagle to get the cattails out of there, because you can't just go dig them out.
Yeah, but in general, just the beach
Oh, I know, the
itself is
beach is-
overgrown. Is there anything you're gonna do about that this year?
Yeah, when the next Hannibal grant comes up, we're gonna try again for it. We tried 2 years ago, but we didn't get it. I think
Problem
last,
is, when it rains, it comes off that parking lot and washes all the sand in there. So you gotta come up with something up top,
Yeah, some simple drain tiles.
you know, to keep that frickin' water from washing all the sand out.
So can that fund be used for something like that? Say if you, would it be beneficial to put in that drain tile so you're not bringing in sand every year to the beach to keep it up? Like, would it be, is that something that is going to be put into the
Well, I mean,
language
for
that you could
fun,
possibly use that money
I mean,
for?
That- You know, that should come out of township maintenance money, you
Yeah.
know?
Or the grant that Brent is speaking of?
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Hannibal's pretty good to us.
yeah.
Yeah,
but anyway, I think when we're gonna get this millage, we should also have a motion that be no motorboats on the pond at all. You wanna go with a canoe
that'd be
or something?
We can't do that. That's
Well,
the
that's where the milfoil starts.
yeah, but we can't. The DNR has to do that.
The
We can't
DNR,
do it.
because of the river running in and out, they control the water.
Well,
We own
then
the
we'll talk to
property.
the DNR.
Maybe you could go like Canterbury laborers, just
Where it's
trolling
just
motor,
electric motors.
electric motor, no gas motor, just a little truck.
Yeah.
That's what Hanbury Lake is in
Right.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure that's.
And it's a pretty big lake.
Because
Yeah,
that's
it
what
is.
causes the milfoil, and 20 grand is a lot of money just for somebody to ride, goof around on the
Because really,
pond.
the lake's pretty
Take a
small.
rowboat
Yeah.
and row.
Trolling motor's plenty big. So far.
So, I mean, I think that's important, that keep them motorboats out of there, because that's what brings the milfoil, you know?
That's definitely what spreads it for sure.
I mean, you gotta do something, because 20,000 every year, the roads are gonna be so rough, you won't be able to drive a car down there to, we gotta get the roads fixed in town, but I know it's important to get this milfoil taken care of now, but it comes in with the motorboats, no motor vehicles at all, you know? That would be a good thing, you know? That's what I think.
I could talk to them, well, just.
You know, you
To
take care
Jen
of
and
that, okay, thank you. Okay, so, any public comment, anybody, Travis?
Yes, curious, you said about the point about doing the campsites out there, right? You were talking about that earlier. I must have missed that. What exactly are you guys trying to get accomplished right now with that?
For
You
getting a
need
well?
to do a well.
Looking to get a well out there to get that all rolling?
Yeah,
You gotta have the
And
well
then-
first.
Right now, it's kind of like free for all, like you guys are looking to make that.
well, and then we're gonna put in there, when we get that done, them
Okay.
containers that if you stay there, it costs you so much a night, I don't know what it is,
So then it-
but like any other parks, like Faithorn, they generate like,
Quite a bit of money.
quite a bit of money, like
Extra.
$6,000 when the Legion used to handle the park.
Right.
you know, 6,000, excuse me, 1,600.
Well, yeah, but
You
it's
know,
extra money
But
nonetheless.
I mean, that's just
to help
for
maintain
1
it.
month or so, they've been doing that, but then the Legion quit doing that, you know?
Sure. So at that point, they're looking at making sites, so you guys gonna put that all on bids then, or how are you gonna, something like that?
It has to be drawn up by an engineering firm.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
and then
then have it sent.
they would, the DNR is the one who licensed you, so I'm sure they would probably put it out on bids.
Right,
You know, like they do all the rest of their,
yeah,
that's what
So at that
I'm
point-
guessing, you know, but
yeah, at that point, you guys will make the township aware or public aware that.
public aware, yeah. I think you have to post it. Can't remember when we did the point one there. Remember that, Bob? We had to post that for, I don't remember how it was, all for bids,
Yeah, but anyway, so if there's 4 permanent campsites, somebody else comes in there, and I don't know, I'm not a camper, but you throw what, $10 or something in there, whatever it is, and you take a sticker or something.
Slip it right there.
Yeah, so I mean, that'll pay, if it pays just for cutting the grass and pumping out the sewer and, picking up the garbage, it's worth
Is
doing
there
it.
any particular reason why you're going with just the 4? There's several spots out there that could be a nice little spot, you know? Is there any reason why you're just picking the number 4 sites and that's it?
No, you could have more.
But you
That's the number
yeah.
that keeps it.
Because if you have 4, you don't need a license.
Okay. Yeah, there is a
After
reason
4,
for it.
you have to be licensed.
But the guy, you know, he asked me, now there's only 1 camper out there now or something, right?
You become a resident.
But anyway, so then you're only allowed to stay out there like for, what is it, 2 weeks or something, then you gotta go, then you can come back or something, I don't
That's what
know.
most of the state.
But whatever they do, that we'll do the same thing, you know? Okay, any more public comment?
Yes, so I wanna talk about the whole garage theft that was spoke of last meeting. It was publicly acknowledged that the garage is free for the pickings. So I'd like to know what was done to mitigate that.
I fixed the door that was broken in the back.
It never was taken care of since I've been supervisor, you could walk
So
right
it
in
has
there.
been mitigated,
Yeah.
so we know that folks can't go in there and have a free-for-all right now,
They
they can't
can't get
access
in
it.
there no more.
I must have missed the inventory list and sign-out process. What is that sign-out process?
Well, just if you take the.
Is
pick
there a
up-
sign-out process?
Yeah.
Cause this
No,
was an
we have
issue
to
years
do
ago,
that.
and I said years ago, this needs to be run like a business, we need an
Yes.
inventory list, and we need a sign-out, because the whole truck, nobody knew where to find the truck, somebody had the truck, this one needed it. What is the sign-out procedure?
They have a slip in there that they sign if they're going.
book.
Yeah.
And that gets exercised.
Right, it's right in the truck.
Okay.
Whoever took it.
Mostly now it's just Krolovitz and Matt
Yeah.
that are using it now.
Did you
But I
start
mean,
that?
inventory list though of all the items, I guess that's really key, is that we're missing items, and where's the VIN number? Yeah, and who's in charge, what does that look like, is it updated?
I wanted to say that was brought to my attention from Pam Danny, that she said you should have a serial number or a model
That's
number
what she's saying.
in your files for the insurance.
They make.
Well, for depreciation, for amortization, for taxes, all of those is a requirement to be able to identify
Yeah.
those commodities of which you have.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do it, but the weed eaters, they're.
They just disappear.
So,
Well, you can't get the numbers off.
We'll-
Because they're all wore out.
Huh?
The serial numbers are wore off.
They're off, but we will number them with a sticker, number 1, number 2,
Yeah,
so
you
we
can go through
know.
and make your own
you know.
identification system.
You already have them, they're in the file, you just have to look them up.
Yeah, well,
Well,
we're
that's the
gonna
problem.
do that.
And then the last thing I wanna state is that, I would like, and I will be requesting the last 12 months of the Menards invoices, due to the Freedom of Information Act, public knowledge for the township. So I will be requesting those invoices, and, I would like to see them, so expect that tomorrow.
Keith?
Brenton, do you have a security camera in your building over there?
No, not yet. Inside I do.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had it on the outside, and I thought maybe it would have picked up whoever was going in and out of there, that might have.
There will be though. I'm waiting until I get the steel on the outside of it. Wouldn't pay to put it on the wood right now. Once I get the steel, then I'm gonna put up a security camera all the way around.
Does the township have a program for their inventory, like where they track it?
We're gonna,
Oh, you're-
yeah,
okay, so
yeah,
you're-
we're trying,
You're gonna get a program
Yes,
with it.
yes, we
instead.
are, but
Okay,
we-
I didn't know if you were just like writing this down in a spreadsheet, or if you're actually getting an inventory
No,
program.
we're just getting it started right now. It'll all be done just like Missy said.
Perfect.
You
It's
know?
on page 6 of the inventory.
So if the weed whacker is, I had got it, it's gonna, I had got the weed whacker or something, you know, everything is gonna be
Accounted for.
But we do need to know who all has keys for that lock. When Ray and I went out there to try to inventory what was out there, the padlock was through the hole, but it wasn't locked.
I did that night when I come down there,
Right.
yeah, cause I had the weed eater.
Yeah.
That way I didn't have to unlock it again, I just dummy locked, cause I was only up at the pond weed eating, so.
I'm just saying, whenever we leave it, it should be secured.
I did it all the time. Well, there is some tools that did come back. I don't know where they were, but, they're coming back little by little. I don't know.
The biggest issue was when people would leave to go do something, the garage door was wide open. I don't think they were sneaking in the back. I mean, it was as simple as the garage door is wide open, someone drives by, no one's around.
There was no reason that garage door shouldn't have been secured. No reason at all.
And I told Matt, you have to make
That's
sure.
poor
the
practice.
door's closed.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Come on, now, we're not a bunch of little kids, you know? Okay, anybody else?
I have a simple one. You're gonna
All right,
love.
so start.
Okay, for the Hermansville cleanup day, we took in a couple of mattresses from housing. Do we ever get paid for them?
No, we gotta get them yet, but you said that, Lori still owes for 2 mattresses.
Did you send
I'll have her
those
write
in the
them
bill?
up, I'll have her write out the check Friday. I forgot.
Does she need
Lori said that.
need an invoice?
Yeah.
I mean, for your record.
Yeah, you better give me an invoice for the record.
Well, take one of them things, you know?
I forgot all
Yeah.
about that. I know I give you the money for the other 2.
Yep, it's in the
Remember I
bank
told you
already.
that,
Yeah.
you still owe for 2, yeah.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Here, come here.
We did, well,
Anybody? Coley, you wanna say something? You're moving around. No? Okay, no public comment. All right, any more comment?
Yeah, Jerry Hadusky got a hold of me last night about fixing the stones.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get him a key so he can get to the tractor. I told him I'd make sure it's fueled up. I think he wants the forks on it, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
start working on them stones
Them big
that are
ones,
flopped
yeah.
over. He does the other cemeteries.
Yeah, he said he did them,
Got a lot of compliments since he's been doing it.
you know? Yeah,
Yes.
he's doing a good job.
he's doing a great job, John.
Okay, anybody else? All right, let's adjourn the, oh, one more.
I just have some ballots to turn in for nonpartisan.
Oh, okay.
petitions. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take care of that in the morning for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Rita?
Did you turn them in for Larry's and Travis's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
a list in there, Chad, if
All
you
right.
wanna read it,
Okay.
inside of the folder.
the only other thing with the milfoil, we could go to the zoo in Kearney and Wallace there and get that hippopotamus here for the summer. He'll eat it all.
I thought you were gonna put scuba gear on it, going on the trolling me.
It'd be entertaining if nothing else. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second. Meeting's over. Caroline needs to check. That's what I'm doing.
Chad, you on Friday?
Neighbor?
Yeah.
Well, there's Dave, so no, Bob must have.
You're doing a very good job.
Yeah.